The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and the nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Who I am is fine with me.
Leo, here we go. Hi everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Welcome to our show. Tonight is Tuesday, January 25th. I had to look at my my date book. It is the 25th. It is a Tuesday. Tonight is my cousin Ronnie's birthday. Today's my cousin Ronnie's birthday. I shout out to Ronnie Grignali in North Reading, Massachusetts. So I want to send a shout out to him. And Leo, how you doing over there?
I'm doing good. I'm making sure that our guest is coming on while you greet everybody.
Yes. So we have a lot going on tonight, as we always do. We're doing like 6 things at once. We have an amazing guest tonight, and we're trying to make sure that he gets on and joins us at the correct time. I'm just typing in my phone number in case he needs to reach me.
While we wait for him, shall we
talk about our merchandise?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, should we play something important first, Maria?
Yes, hit it, Leo.
Ooh, spicy. We're going fast.
That is fantastic. Leo, for a radio listener, what you're listening to, and which you cannot see, but I wish you could see, is Leo Rodriguez, my amazing sidekick, co-host, has created a wonderful promo for our apron. So the What's the Story with Maria apron has inspired a calendar. And that calendar is called Nothing But the Apron. So we had 12, actually 13. How do I order? Kenny Holcomb. Kenny, I think I have your address somewhere, but just send me your address, honey, and I'll get one out to you. Don't you worry. So the aprons are 15. They're amazing. There's 13 people because one of the months, September, has 2 people in it. It is funny. It's, as one of my friends, Jeffrey Campbell, said, it's naughty.
Ooh, I like that.
Naughty. I like that too. Because I sent one to Jeffrey and Steven, and he's like, oh, we love it. It's naughty.
And we have contact in the green room. We are all set when we're...
Oh, my God. This is so exciting. So, Leo, first of all, I would like to personally thank you. I want to encourage everybody to thank. There's always somebody in your corner in the world. You know, when we're feeling sorry for ourselves or we think that things are too hard, just stop for a minute and remember that there's always somebody in your corner, whether it's at your job, whether it's a family member. There's that go-to person that you can always count on. And like all my different jobs, I have all these amazing go-to people that I really count on. And I love Susie Campanero when I'm at Stonewall, Mario Davila when I'm at Brandy's, when I'm in Morristown. It's Kathy Roy, my incredible boss and director of education. There's always great people in our lives and in the wings. And Leo, you are just irreplaceable. I must say that. Leo knows exactly how to make things work, even when I'm totally stressed out. I cannot thank you enough, Leo. I think everybody deserves a Leo Rodriguez in their life. Well, not everybody deserves one, but everybody should get one.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody should try to get a Leo Rodriguez. How to get a Leo Rodriguez? You have to be nice to people like Leo Rodriguez, those people in the wings that work really hard to make the rest of us shine and just do all that stuff that would totally make our brains explode. Leo, you can handle it. And I'm proud of you, and I love you, and thank you. That promo is off the hook.
It's spicy like our models, I think.
I know. Well, everybody is just freaking out over it. 3 cheers for Leo Rodriguez. Rena,
weather girl.
Rena, oh my God. Okay, so I didn't have it.
She said, hello and happy Tuesday.
Yes, Catherine Salvio says, I love it. The calendar. Kenny Holcomb, how do I order a calendar? Kenny, just text me your address again. I know I have it somewhere, but I'll get one out to you. Rena says, hello and happy Tuesday. Oh, Eugenia Mesa says, I'm your go-to person.
She is a go-to person.
You know what, Poopa? You are a go-to person. Absolutely, 100%.
You're dating the future senator, president of the United States.
That's what Leo's been calling her, Senator Mesa, for many years. DeQuincy Cook it says Leo is great. DeQuincy, you are right. Rena, 3 cheers for Leo Rodriguez. Everybody should just run around their house doing that.
I'm getting all the love tonight.
Well, you deserve it, honey. You deserve it. And you work so hard, and then you rush home and you get this show going. So, hello from Connecticut, says Eddie Kutu of Blade Salon in Rocky Hill. They do the most amazing work out there. I love the Instagram. I follow them, and I can't believe the beautiful work they do, but I just want to shout them out. Mario Devil, I was just talking about you.
Hi, Mario.
Number one train. We were talking about go-to people in our lives. That people you can just count on, you can just exhale when you're around them. And I mentioned you because you are that person. So Mario Davila, who is also in the calendar, by the way. We were just talking about our amazing calendar. Yes, he's Mr. June.
Oh, that's right.
You almost forgot. I find that hard to believe, Leo, that you almost forgot. Wink, wink. Eugenia Mesa is Miss October. I know she just rolled her eyes right now, but speaking from one who's made a lot of promos in my day, yes, Catherine Salvio, who was a video editor for NBC. Yes, Leo does an incredible job. Bravo is right.
Thank you, my song partner.
So we are running live. Let's just remind you guys, we are running live this show on our What's the Story with Maria page on Facebook, the Maria Gentili page on Facebook, the Leo Rodriguez page on Facebook. And tell them about YouTube, Leo.
We are on YouTube at What's the Story with Maria. And pretty soon, if I can get her to do it, we're going to be on What's the Story with Maria with Twitter. Because we can broadcast live from there, too.
Is that true? I'm going to have to join Twitter. I've never joined Twitter, but I think it's fun.
We'll join the circus.
Yeah, Lauren Muffson said to me that I would be a good person to be on Twitter, because I have many opinions.
Now, for anybody that's in the link, if you want to order a calendar or an apron, or a mug, you want to get Maria's mug in your coffee, or a tote bag, I just put in the comments there on What's the Story with Maria the simple link to click onto. It'll take you right to the order form.
Well, thanks, Leo. That's fantastic.
Like that, or you can email What's the Story with Maria at gmail.com.
And if you have my cell phone, you're welcome to text me or anything like that, or Facebook message me at Maria Gentili. Just reach out. We'll get it done.
This calendar's going like hot cross buns.
Yeah. Oh, right. Flying off the shelves. Okay, so I'll show you very quickly. We have a tote bag. It's $10. It's great. It's strong right now. Plastic is a big deal. People are trying to get rid of plastic.
I live in a forest, so please save the trees.
Yes. Leo, can you bring up the mug? Because mine's far, far away. Oh, my goodness. That is also $10. Let me know. I'll get it to you. Now,
mug on a mug.
Mug on a mug. If you're local, I will drive it out to you. If you're close by. If not, hi, Lucas. Lucas says sending all the love.
Hi, cutie. Hi, Lucas.
We'll take it, Lucas. We'll take all that love. Thank you. So we got a lot of great things. We have the apron, which is our best seller, of course. Our blue apron. And I got to tell you, Leo, this washes really well, right?
It does. It does.
It does not fade. So if you want an apron, these are $25.
These are very strong. And believe me, this has had olive oil and pizza oil and beef juice all over it and tamale and lard. Yeah.
You're a cook, Leo. You're like me. We cook every day. Okay, so let me just check the time.
Oh,
We got a couple minutes before we bring our guests. What is that you're showing, Leo?
Nothing but the Apron 2022 calendar. I will open it up for you and show you what.
Oh, there's Mr. January, Chris DeViro.
Yep, your first guest ever, brother from another mother.
Brother from another mother. He was my first guest, so I said you have to be January, baby New Year. And there he is.
There he is.
He committed
Now,
to it.
you can, there's a lot more in here.
Oh, there's Mario.
Random open.
Yeah, but be careful.
Yeah, I better not.
Yeah, you better be careful.
I might get to April, and April's mine.
April is your pushes all your buttons, so to speak. Okay. All right. Anyway, stick around. We have an incredible guest coming up. In the meantime, and he is waiting in the wings, and we love him. He's been incredibly supportive of the show. And finally, we got our dates together, and we have him on. Andy Praskai,
jack of all trades.
Amazing, and not just a jack of all trades, but very grounded human being. I like people like that. I'm going to have to find out his sign. I'm guessing he's a Virgo, something like that, like my sister.
He's nodding.
He's nodding?
No, not a Virgo.
Not a Virgo. All right.
Is it Earth?
Maybe an Aquarius?
Water?
Hey, he might be a Sag like you. We'll find out when he comes on. But in the meantime...
Ways at Libra.
He's a Libra?
I think I got it.
I can't believe it. Boy, we got a lot of Libra friends, man. Miss October, Senator Mesa is a Libra.
Oh, they're not stubborn at all.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. All right, so we first of all, we want to just acknowledge, and we'll talk about it more. Maybe we'll, you know what, Leo? Maybe we'll save this for somewhere towards the show when we're going to talk about. I'm not stubborn, says Eudania Mesa. You are a strong personality, honey. Leo's
there we go. Strong personality.
Strong personality. I don't know. I want to make sure that I didn't forget to mention our producer and engineer is Jim Bell. He is in New Hampshire. Jimmy Bell. He's in New Hampshire. We're coming through Armed Radio. If you have your TuneIn app and you're not on Facebook, you want to listen to us, and our radio listeners are listening to us on Armed Radio on their TuneIn app.
I have to tell you, besides us on Armed Radio being my favorite show, I have to say Jimmy Bell's promos are one of my favorite things to listen to. Yeah,
Jimmy Bell, and sometimes Paul jumps in there with him.
Yep, the two of them together when they do the weekly schedules, one of my favorite things. When they do
the weekly schedules. So there's actually an amazing show on there that I love. It's called All You Can Eat. It's this great chef. His name is Rob Rosenthal. It's my favorite of the podcasts that they have.
Oh.
I love it. I listen to it all the time. This man is so amazing. He's an amazing chef. So I want to shout out to Rob Rosenthal and All You Can Eat on
it's
my favorite
title.
Susan Stager. I love Andy. Okay. Oh my God, Lynn Portis. Lynn, you and I we've been trying to call each other for 2 weeks, and every time I call her, she's working. Every time she calls me, today I was at the dentist. I was at the dentist when she called. That's how tired I was. I fell asleep while he was drilling my tooth. If that's not fatigue, I don't know what the hell is.
The fact that you could sleep while somebody was doing that, and
Because you know what I said to myself? Oh, this is great. I don't have to do anything. I can just lay here. It was like incredible. I didn't have to be anywhere other than where I was. I didn't have to carry any bags. But that's just me. Okay. So, we're talking about go-to people. We're talking about, lots of times when you're watching something, listening to something, you're just seeing what is being broadcast out to you. But you don't realize that behind the scenes, there are people. Like, for me, it's Leo. And on a different scale, they're the Andy Praskais of the world that make things go, and not just go, but present them with style and flair and knowledge and all that stuff. So Andy has been an amazing supporter of this show, and just like the loveliest guy, and just so amazing through the pandemic, just really always checking in on me and stuff like that. So
he sent me some pictures. Can I show one of my favorite pictures of
yeah, go ahead.
It is. I just want to make sure I get the right one.
Yeah, go ahead, Leo. Whatever.
Because
I trust you.
It's one of my favorite.
Is it a throwback, guys. Leo? Is it a throwback?
Yep, and everyone's gonna love it. Let me see if I can get the right one. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, man of my heart. Man of my heart. That is my bucket right there. Big smooches too.
You know what's crazy? He looks exactly like him. So, for our radio listeners, this is a picture of Andy Praskai dressed as Colonel Sanders with a bucket of chicken. And Andy, you look just like him.
Yep.
Jackie Judge says, Andy Praskai, we love you. Oh my God, this is so great. So Andy's friends have popped on. Do we have Andy in the wings?
Yes, we do. He's not wearing my bucket.
Oh my God, there he
Hey.
Yay.
How are you?
Great, honey. We're great, and we're so glad that you got on, because sometimes there are a couple of technical difficulties getting on, and then once you get on, it's great. So, Andy, we were talking about go-to people, and I got to tell you, I mean, I know a lot about you just because, you know, we've known each other a long time, and I know that...
Quite a long time, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say...
Don't say
20 years. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
You know, over 20 years, and I know that you've always been in show business on the end of television and film and documentaries, but I got to tell you, Andy, when I was reading your bio that you sent me, and thank you for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my eyes popped out because This Week in Baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Because I watched that show religiously. I'm a huge baseball fan.
Matter of fact, you know who the Yankees are opening to this year? April 7th.
The Red Sox?
Yes. The Yankees are playing the Red Sox on opening day at Yankee Stadium, April 7th.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, Andy, I have to write that down. April 7th.
Yeah.
Okay, Yankee Stadium. Wow. You know what? It's not that far away. Spring training is just around the corner.
If they can make a deal.
Well, that's the thing. Somebody was talking about it today. What the heck's going on? I mean, quickly, because I know we got a lot to talk about. But
yeah, I don't know. You know, it's players, union, owner. You know that.
You know what? Part of me thinks that they're just buying time.
Could be.
Because of the whole COVID thing, and they're trying to save all the cancellations and all that stuff, you know, like Broadway did. But... Yeah. So, Andy, you went to Rutgers. You're Jersey. Were you born in Jersey?
Yeah, I was born in. Actually, I lived in Middletown. I was born in a hospital in Red Bank. You know,
okay.
Riverview, but I lived in Middletown my entire life. So went to Middletown High School.
And then Rutgers, and
then I went to Rutgers for my undergraduate.
Oh, okay.
And I got my undergraduate degree, believe it or not, in sociology. Police science.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so foreign from what I do now.
Isn't that something? And was there a reason? Was there someone in your family that was in criminal justice?
Yeah, my dad wanted me to go to law school. You know, and it wasn't going to happen because he made a major mistake. My dad made a major mistake in his life. He gave me a movie camera.
Oh, no.
At the age of 8.
Oh, boy. Wow.
And that movie camera, that little Kodak wind-up camera, changed my life.
That's incredible. And back then...
Yeah, that's how I knew.
Really, like it wasn't something everybody had.
Right. From 8 years old, I knew what I wanted to do in life.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you wanted to make movies, and you wanted to make...
Exactly. Movies, whatever.
What was your, like, we always talk about television, Leo and I, because we were both big TV kids. What were shows that you just were completely mesmerized by as a kid?
Okay. Young. TV was Bonanza.
Yes. Yes.
That was in living color. Bonanza was a huge deal for me. But in the 60s, because that was my formative years in the 60s. There were so many great shows, and especially in the early 70s as well.
Oh my God, totally.
All in the Family and all the Norman Lear stuff.
Yep.
They made a huge deal. That was a huge influence on me.
Absolutely, Maude. How about Sanford and Son? I loved Sanford and Son.
Huge fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Red Fox was a brilliant comedian, and sometimes I don't think he gets enough due for his career, but he was an amazing, although, a little off color live, but he was an amazing comedian.
Yeah, but you could do that back then, and it wasn't broadcast. I mean, there were albums, because my dad had his albums, and that's how I knew about his comedy. I couldn't believe how funny he was, but as you said, very risque stuff, but I loved those shows. Those 70s shows just changed everything.
Oh my gosh.
Chico and the Man. Do you remember Chico and the Man?
Chico and the Man. I mean, there was and there was something very interesting about 60s and 70s sitcoms. There was a tremendous amount of shows that were motherless. Think about it. Think about how many shows, like Patty Duke. There was the uncle, but there was never a woman. I could name a whole bunch of
My Three Sons,
and it goes on and on.
The Courtship of Eddie's.
Yes.
Father.
Yes.
Yes. Uncle Bill and Buffy and Jody, whatever that show was, Mr. French. Family Affair. There were so many shows.
I wonder why I never even thought of that.
A mother. I don't know why during that era there were just men as head of the households.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
See, there's your sociology background.
That's really incredible that you mentioned that, because, I always, later in my career, I always thought, I left Rutgers with my sociology degree, my minor in police science, thinking I was going to law school. Right. But then I went to film school, and you know what? The sociology part of my background really helped my filmmaking.
Well, I was going to say that when you said, I didn't go into that. But the thing is, something like that would help your filmmaking, because we're talking about the human condition. We're talking about what makes people, how they gather, what they do when they gather, how things change, how things shift.
Sure.
It's like anything behavioral is just like, I think it's fascinating. Jamie Burke, who is Jerry Diefenbach, but you also had the Partridge Family, no dad.
Right.
Okay, good point. So there was always a missing parent.
Yes. During those 60s and early 70s, there was always a mother missing from the show. And I just never understood why, but that was a really interesting kind of development in our culture.
Wow. Yeah, and back then you wouldn't, I would expect it more now, because I think more and more kids have one parent. Back then, it seemed like everybody had two parents.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, I guess maybe it tugged on people's heartstrings.
Yeah, I would love to know what they were thinking back then.
Very interesting. So, so you started. Was your first assignment This Week in Baseball? Was that your first introduction into television?
Yeah, actually, it was very close. Yes, I had graduated Syracuse, and I was working at a camera store, making minimum wage, and I got a phone call from a friend who said they were looking for someone who knew baseball, was a filmmaker, who could do editing, and I went into New York and I got the job with Major League Baseball Productions at the time.
Amazing.
And I worked for Major League Baseball for almost 6 years until I decided it was time for me to move on in my career. But This Week in Baseball was a great experience. First of all, working with Mel Allen,
Yes, sure.
He was an incredible professional and nicest man in the world. So, working, with all of my colleagues at baseball, putting together, because we each had a segment. There was always the guy who did the blooper segment. There was always the guy who did the great catches segment. There was
I loved it.
Different editors did different segments, and then we would piece them together and make the show.
Okay, wow.
But we always had to work weekends, because we, and this was on 6th Avenue in Manhattan, 1212 6th Avenue. we would get 3/4-inch videotape from every stadium, every game across the country. So we had literally tens of thousands of videotape that we had to go through to make.
And it's not like now where it's digital.
No, this was all linear. We all had to cut in a linear way. There was no.
Somebody had to sit in front of a chart and mark each one and write down 0.001.37.
Leo, you're actually right. We had what we called screeners, and the screeners sat and watched. Oh my God, I don't know how they did it. But, if there was a quick shot of a mascot, they would have to write down what the tape was, what the game was, what number, it was insane.
Production PA.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. So that must have been kind of almost like boot camp for you for everything else that you ended up doing.
Well, it started, my television career. In other words, it just teaches you, the rules of what television producing and editing is all about. It teaches you deadlines. It teaches you personalities. It teaches you what you can and can't say on the air. It's a gamut of things. So yeah, it was quite a learning experience. But
that must be a rush when you finally get it done, because that is such a challenge to do it, to take all that tape and all that and present it in a way that, for someone like me who watched that show, I loved that show.
Yeah.
So I never knew all that stuff that was happening. I just knew that I was incredibly entertained and educated, and as a baseball fan, I just was glued to it. So
I think that was the #1 syndicated sports show in the country at the time.
Yeah.
It was pretty big. So
it was like the only sports show in the country at the time. Really, I mean,
I didn't pay any attention to, but I think it kind of kickstarted everything. Now
it kind of did. It was all the highlights, and what it is. It created the formula.
Yes, you just took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, we created the formula.
Yeah,
and it was fabulous because later, like the NBA, for instance, didn't really have a formula when the NBA decided to go to TV. So they came to us and said, "Hey, we do this," and we kind of taught the NBA how to produce shows.
Now, you also worked on the Olympics, right?
I did Olympic films. Yes, Peter Uberoth in the Los Angeles Olympics.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Leo's a California kid.
I was on the streets of Whittier Boulevard when that torch went by during those Olympics. I remember that we had all the Pepsi or the Coke bottles with the eagle and everything. That was our time. And Williams composed that theme that year. John Williams, right? Yeah, which is I have in my it's great.
Oh, it was amazing. Well, thinking back when I was there at baseball, and whenever the muckety mucks, our bosses would say, Peter Uberoth is coming today. The whole office tension just went sky high. Everybody was like, oh, Peter, he's coming. So we were all on high alert. It was quite an experience.
And so that was more films. Now you're shifting from television to films with the Olympics, right?
Well, after I left baseball, because baseball for me at the time, I was there for 6 years, and it was an amazing experience. I loved everyone there. It was such a camaraderie. It was a lot of people. We were all the same age, so we could literally work 12, 14, 15 hours and not feel it. That's the kind of thing that we had to do. We had deadlines. But then after 6 years, I decided to go out on my own. And that's when I got more into television and advertising and public relations.
And you started your own company, right?
Yes. I had a couple companies. The first one was called Take 3 Productions, and it was myself and 2 other people who left baseball with me. Okay. And we did a lot of great stuff. We did a lot of TV commercials at the time. We did Coca-Cola. Do you remember New Coke?
Yes, I do, because I was very upset.
Yeah, well,
I don't want New Coke.
I have
it was a brilliant marketing,
Yeah, well, I have a funny story about that because McCann Erickson was the advertising agency at the time for New Coke, and they only were like 4 blocks away from my office, and they called us up at like 5 o'clock, just when we were ready to leave, and said, we have to re-edit this commercial for New Coke, so we're coming to your facility. So we said, fine. So they were only 4 blocks away. However, I looked, we had a kitchen in our edit rooms, in our offices. When I opened up our refrigerator, it was all Pepsi.
Oh, wow.
This is how the mentality of the business works. I had to literally take out all of the Pepsi cans and bottles, put them in a trash can, and send my assistant down to the deli and buy like $100 worth of Coca-Cola products and put them in the refrigerator before the client showed up.
Oh my God.
That's what the day was like back then,
That's crazy, yeah.
And you wondered why they call them madmen.
Yeah, exactly. It was a mad time. It was fun as hell, but it was crazy, yeah.
And that was all in New York, right? Now,
that was all in New York, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you started. Now you have your own company. Mm-hmm. Now when did you get into commercials and all that kind of stuff?
Well, it was around 85, 86 that we really started getting into, making, it's all about relationships, in our business, especially in the PR, advertising, it's all about relationships and who you know and who trusts you, because trust is a huge factor. In the advertising world, I'll tell you a secret. It's fear-driven.
That's interesting. What do you mean by that?
Well, any producer in the advertising world or PR world, especially if they're an underling and they're given an assignment, it's usually fear driven because they don't want to fail, obviously. So whoever they hire, like someone like me, they have to make sure that they trust me to make them look good. It's just the nature of the beast,
I totally agree.
Yeah, and it's just like, one of those, trickle down things.
Yeah.
So
but it's what we were talking about in the beginning of the show. People these go-to people that those unsung heroes. Like for me, it's Leo. Like I really I joke I'd be lost without Leo, but I would it is a trust factor because I never worry that I always know Leo's in my corner, so.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that's how they felt about you. Like,
right.
You will get the job done.
If I failed or my company not failed, but if I didn't live up to expectation, I don't want to use the word fail, but if I didn't live up to their expectation or the client's expectation, you're only as good as your last job. You've heard that expression before.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we never wanted to make the people who hired us look anything but stellar. And so that's how we continue to get our business, is because repeat business in the advertising PR world was very special.
Yeah, and one thing would probably lead to another, like your reputation. Once something, like if there was a great ad or there was something amazing that you worked on, people would want to know who worked on that.
Well, that's what happened with me with Passion. I was one of the fortunate ones to have gotten hired by an agency who they're no longer in business, but doesn't matter. William Esty, I think it was, who said, "We want you to do the Elizabeth Taylor's Passion campaign."
Wow!
So that was a head trip, And
tell us about that. I'm looking. I'm sorry. I'm looking down. I'm looking to pull up my Facebook page because sometimes comments don't always. All our comments. That's me in Elizabeth Taylor's. Oh my God!
That's me in Elizabeth Taylor's living room a long time ago.
Wow!
Yeah, it was really fun.
Andy, that's fantastic. So that's Elizabeth Taylor's home?
Yeah, that was her living room. She bought that house from Nancy Sinatra for $2 million.
And where was it? In the city?
Yeah, it was in Bel Air. Most people thought Elizabeth lived in Beverly Hills, but she didn't. She lived in Bel Air. Wow. Matter of fact, her street address, I'll never forget, it was 700 Means Road. and it's just one of those things that just stays with you for life, you know. So, so she bought that house from Nancy Sinatra for $2 million. And
back then, imagine $2 million back then.
Back then, oh, absolutely.
So it would probably be like $10 million now.
Yeah. So we were there. And I'll tell you a quick story. And I know, if any of my friends are watching right now, they're going to roll their eyes because I love telling stories.
I love it. That's why you're the only guest tonight.
I know. Well, I don't want to bore you, but this is a great.
No, never, Andy.
Okay. All right. Well, we were in Elizabeth's house. Matter of fact, the picture that you just saw was the day that we were supposed to shoot. We did shoot Elizabeth in her house. Now, I counted the stairs because she was upstairs in her bedroom, and there were 13 steps going upstairs. But we didn't see Elizabeth for a while. Now, you have to understand the cast of characters that were in her house. Okay, number one, Nolan Miller. Nolan Miller did all of the design. He was a fashion designer who did all the designs for like Dynasty, and he just went on to do amazing things. He went on to QVC, Home Shop. He did all the big shoulder pads. You know, Nolan Miller was the guy. Okay, he was there. Then you had Jose Eber. Jose Eber was the stylist of the stars with the cowboy hat and the.
Oh my God! Yes,
he was there. Now you had Norman Parkinson. Now most people in this country will not know who Norman Parkinson is. Norman Parkinson was the official royal still photographer. So he photographed all of the royal family in England, all of their weddings, all of their special events. So Norman Parkinson now is in Elizabeth's house.
Oh my goodness.
Now, in addition, we had Kevin O'Connell makeup. So, all right. So we have all these incredible, and we had $2 million worth of Harry Winston jewelry.
Oh, Jesus.
With two burly, like, security guys watching it like hawks.
This is fantastic.
Now we're all in Elizabeth's house. All of us in one room, literally one room, trying to and she's making us wait. This is the fun part, because I would say she had an assistant, and I would go to her assistant and say, is she coming down? Because you have to understand, I'm doing the film part of it. I have like 20 guys in her driveway who I wouldn't even let into the house because it would be too crowded. So I'm on the clock for paying all these 20 crew guys,
Oh my God.
Actors, electricians, audio guys, the whole bit. So I kept saying to her assistant, is she coming down? Is she coming down? She feels puffy, but she'll be down. She's feeling puffy. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God. That's, if I stopped every time I felt puffy, nothing would happen.
I feel puffy every day. So
Me too.
Yeah. So,
Leo, have you ever felt puffy?
I just, it wasn't like she was doing National Velvet at the time.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Well, I have to tell you. All right, let me digress. She had just gotten out of Betty Ford.
Okay, all right.
She was in the best shape of her life at that moment. Her waist was like that. She was absolutely gorgeous.
Okay. And how old was she at the time? Do you remember, Andy?
Well, at the time, I don't know. It was probably about 1986 or so.
Yeah. Maybe 50s, 40s? 50s?
Yeah, she was up, she was getting on, but not terribly. But,
she had that haircut that was popping out.
Yeah.
Had the mole that she was highlighting.
Well, yes. She had gotten rid of the John Warner weight, when she was like the senator's wife. She got rid of that stuff. She looked beautiful. So anyway, we're all there. Norman Parkinson, Jose Eber, Nolan Miller, me, Harry Winston jewelry. We were so bored waiting for her. We were putting a $1 million necklace on her cat and taking pictures. That's what we were doing. So finally, I said to her assistant, "Is she coming down?" She's puffy, but so we waited. So she was supposed to come down at noon. So we waited 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
The necklace went on the dog. The necklace went on the cat. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock,
Oh, no.
5 o'clock, she finally walks down 13 steps and makes her appearance. She was 5 hours late for her own shoot in her own house.
Oh, my God.
But I loved her. Yeah.
So what was that like when you finally did get to work with her?
She was the most delightful, appreciative, magnificent, big star I've ever met. She was so wonderful, and gracious. But she was strategic. Because in that old Hollywood star days, the actresses didn't suck up to producers; they sucked up to the lighting guys and the director of photography, who were going to make them look good.
Right.
So anyway, so she comes downstairs and she gives me a big hug, and I'm hugging. Really, think about it. I'm a kid. I'm a kind of a kid just out of college almost, and Elizabeth Taylor's hugging me.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
And you know what the first thought in my head was? God, I wish my father was here to see this.
Of course.
It was just one of those moments that you say, oh. So she said, Andy, I would love if we could do this tomorrow.
No.
Yeah. And I said, oh, God, Elizabeth, I've got, and you don't call her Liz, people knew that, you never call, it's always Elizabeth. I said, oh, but Elizabeth, we've got everybody here. I've got a crew outside. We've got to get this done today. And I'm on a plane tomorrow morning, so we have to do. She goes, oh, okay, all right. And she sucked it up, and even though maybe she thought she was puffy, no, she was absolutely beautiful.
But you know what? That goes to show that, like, your image of yourself, sometimes, whether it's famous people or not, sometimes our images of ourselves are so distorted.
Yeah.
What's in your head? She's was probably at the time one of the biggest stars of all time. And she still is. But she didn't feel good enough. Can you imagine?
1986, she was wearing those diamonds. She went to the We Are the World recording. Mm-hmm. She was with Michael Jackson. She was starting the AIDS Foundation at that time.
I was going to say, she was one of the first advocates for AIDS.
For all of us.
Sure. Well, she was Rock Hudson's, best friend. Roddy McDowell was. She had an office that is probably longer than my house, and on one wall had to be, and I'm not exaggerating, had to be 500 framed photographs of everyone she ever worked with.
Really?
And the majority of those pictures were taken by Roddy McDowell, who was a kind of like amateur photographer.
Mm-hmm. Also an amazing actor. I had the pleasure.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of meeting him. We did it was for Broadway Cares. We did a Gypsy of the Year. Mm-hmm. We used to do all the Gypsy of the Years and the Easter bonnets.
Right.
Because I was in Tony and Tina's at the time, so it was me and two other people that would write the skits.
Yeah.
And then we would, and we got to meet all these amazing people. And Roddy McDowell was such a lovely person.
Amazing.
But I didn't know he was a photographer.
He did. He had one of the most extensive Hollywood candid photography libraries in Hollywood.
Really?
Everybody trusts him.
And I don't know whatever happened to all the pictures. I have no idea whatever happened to those.
Now, there's a documentary right there.
Oh, totally. If somebody could find all those, I don't know.
Okay, so because the time is flying by like it always does.
I know.
It does, really?
Yeah, always. Now, let's do the food section of our show, and then I know it's flying by. Then we have to talk about the documentary, like the other, because you've worked with so many people, Andy. I mean, that's why I was like, there's no way I can't have two people on the show. It has to be just Andy.
Oh, you're sweet.
No, but I knew that you'd just have like a chest full of stories, And
well, getting away from the Hollywood thing, what happened to me, and people ask me, how did you manage your career? And I have one phrase, and it is absolutely true. I said, my career was a cork in the ocean. I didn't control my career. My career just kind of was a cork, and wherever the tide took it,
Wow.
where it went. And, as much as I would love to say, oh, I had full control, no, I didn't. It just flowed in whatever direction it went. So now I'm doing a lot of, public service announcements, a lot of PSAs. I still do a lot of celebrity work.
Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw was an amazing human being. He and I just got along so well, and he couldn't do more for us, and he was terrific. But I also do a lot of patients, and I do a lot of disease awareness, syndrome awareness, condition awareness, which goes on the air. Sometimes it doesn't always go on the air in New York because New York has such a tight control of the airways. But all over the different TV stations right across the country, a lot of my stuff is seen. And I've done stuff for diabetes awareness, metastatic breast cancer awareness, just the gamut,
Right. I mean, I was looking at your resume, the American Heart Association, diabetes. I mean, so many amazing PSAs that you worked on. Let's take a second and do the food section of our show, which is called Go Ahead, Keep Eating.
Look at behind me. All food, Maria. All food behind me. My whole kitchen wall is full of food.
Wow.
But it's healthy food. It's all fruits and vegetables except the martini glass.
Wow. And who did it? Was it the same person that painted them? Or was it different people?
No. What happened was I had a flood in my house, and it destroyed the whole bottom floor, and I decided to redecorate. And I said, that wall needs to have all original, because I support independent artists.
Yes, I agree. Me too.
So I bought independent oil paintings from independent artists to fill my wall.
Wow. Fantastic. Okay. So let me just show you what I made tonight. I made, because I'm pretty soon, I have to go back on my keto soon, but not yet. I'm not ready for that. It's cold and I still want to keep eating. So I made gnocchi.
Oh!
I know. I haven't had gnocchi in a while. With gnocchi, if you don't know what it is, it's potato pasta. It's so good. You only cook it for a few minutes, and it's very starchy but delicious. So I made a basil butter cream sauce.
You're killing
Simple, very, very simple. Just a little garlic, a little salt and pepper, not a lot of stuff. And then I finished it off with crushed red peppers, which I put on a lot. I love crushed red peppers.
You've made this for me before. You've made gnocchi like this for me before.
Did I?
And I'm jealous right now.
Okay, well, you know what, Leo? You know I'd mail it out to you if I
I know, love. I know.
Okay, now, I love salads. I'm a big fan of salads. So this is romaine lettuce with red baby beets, red onion, and blue cheese crumble. Blue cheese crumble in there. I'm going to put a mission fig vinegar and a lemon olive oil, Sicilian lemon olive oil. There's a company that I'm crazy about called the New England Olive Oil Company. They do olive oils and vinegars. They make them there. They press everything. It's a little tiny shop in West Concord, Massachusetts. And my sister got me all these beautiful things for Christmas. So I'm doing that. One of my favorite desserts, I have a chocolate coconut cupcake.
Oh, coconut's my favorite.
Me too.
I love coconut cake.
Me too, Andy. Okay, very soon we have to get together, right?
Yes, we have.
I'm going to come out there and we can just kibitz and just hang out all day. And I'm going to bring you a coconut. Yeah, there's my New England Olive Oil Company. I can't say enough about these people.
Okay.
Not only are their products incredible, but they're so sweet. They were their shop is right near my sister's shop, which is European Flair in West Concord, Massachusetts. My sister's a hairdresser and she has a shop, and she discovered them there, and she started sending me stuff, and then I started ordering from them. So, but they're just a little mom and pop shop, and if you peek in the window, which I've done because sometimes they close for the day or whatever, it's all little things that are pressed. They make everything in small batches. So, Andy, I'm going to bring a coconut cake out to you because
please do. Are you kidding?
Only a bakery. I'm not.
You know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to make you a pot roast.
Oh no, Andy! I'm losing my mind. That's what I love.
I know. I'm going to
Oh
make
my God, I love
out of my Dutch oven, and we're going to have a.
Oh, in a Dutch oven, even.
Hey, speaking of wait, you made something else. Oh, Salisbury steak a few weeks ago. I saw it on your
Oh
Facebook.
yeah, I make a great Salisbury steak.
I don't know anybody that makes Salisbury steak.
Yeah.
Comfort food, total comfort food.
That's what I like too. I
But,
love-
but it's it's pretty amazing.
Okay, let me just take a minute because we got a bunch
Oh my
of people
goodness,
that popped
that
on.
sounds so
Ben Goldberg says hi from Michael Bowen. Ben, hi guys.
Hey guys,
Eileen Alfred Mayer. I love
hi,
that
Eileen.
artwork.
Nice to see you. Yep.
That's your friend. My cousin Cora Gauthier, who I love to pieces, says, sending love from Cora and Kathy Guarino, who's my other cousin. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Cora. Okay.
Eileen?
That salad looks delicious. Thank you, Eileen. I love salads. I think the only reason I'm not 400 pounds is because I eat salad every day. And I love vegetables. I love vegetables. Italian kids, we grew up eating vegetables because our parents grew them. Our dads grew them in the backyard. I love coconut anything, says Cora. Cora, that's it. Me, you, and Andy. We're having coconut.
There's a lot of people who don't like coconut, but I it's my favorite.
Some people don't, but I'm a huge fan. My cousin Gina Savino made me, because I mentioned once on the show that I loved coconut, and she made me a coconut cake when I was in Massachusetts
Yeah.
a few years ago. Like it was, I lost my mind. Okay, so now, Andy, the pandemic obviously put a little bit of a wrench in everything for you, I'm sure, for all of us. But
Yeah, absolutely.
so now, but you're back, right? You're back to filming?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, I had 2 shoots this week, and the difference is there's a protocol.
Okay.
And the pandemic has really changed the business in that, because I do a lot of rare disease interviews, rare disease states. So I will go into a home of someone who's got a rare disease. So early in the week on Monday, I was in Briarcliff, Westchester.
Yes.
And I had to talk to the family and interview the family with a young 6-year-old who has Angelman Syndrome, which a lot of people don't even know what Angelman Syndrome is, but it's a devastating disease. And so, but what happens is, what COVID has done is, I personally have to take a COVID test the day before I leave my home. Mm-hmm. And then on the day of the shoot, we don't leave our cars. Me and my entire crew, we don't leave our cars until our COVID coordinator actually takes our temperature and does a COVID test on each of us.
Wow.
So we all have to do the rapid test prior to even entering a patient.
Well, because these people are immunocompromised. I mean, they're really the most at-risk people, right?
Absolutely.
Wow.
So, it's truthfully, it's a minor inconvenience, but it's necessary. And we also ask the family, which puts a little more burden on them. We ask the family to also, the day before we show up, do the rapid test. So that's what it's done. But a lot of film production and video production is still up and running. And, Rare Disease Day is February 28th. And I'm in my busy section now because a lot of my clients want us to do finish, profiles and little biography type things for Rare Disease Day, which is February 28th. And so this year, as I said, I'm doing Angelman Syndrome. If you don't know about it, look it up. It's.
I'm gonna right after the show.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough disease. And then I also, at the end of the week on Friday, I was in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, and it was Duchenne disease, which is a part of muscular dystrophy.
Okay.
So when I have to meet these families and the patient themselves, it's a lot of heaviness.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But the most uplifting thing about that, what my takeaway is, what you see is a family so dedicated and so much love and so much wanting to do the right thing for their child.
Wow.
I wish the entire country could see what these families go through.
Yeah. Well, you're obviously doing something to help the world see. You're like, I wouldn't know about any of these things.
Yeah, I want to bring these things to light because I want people, hey, knowledge is, power. Knowledge is awareness,
Mm-hmm.
And to have people understand that there are a lot of things out there. See, what happens is, especially in rare disease, the big companies, especially the insurance companies and medical facilities and all that, they'll jump on, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, all that, because it's a big selling ticket.
Right.
If you only have, let's just say 50,000 people suffering from a certain disease in this country, it doesn't get noticed.
Right.
So there's not enough money for research and development. That's
interesting. That's a very interesting point.
So, these advocacies, and the advocate groups, they do an amazing job in this country, just getting the word out about these, rare disease states. And I'm a little bit a part of that, and I'm very proud of that. I like to get the word out about things that we normally wouldn't think about.
Yeah, okay, so Eileen says, I'm so proud of the work you do, Andy.
That's very nice. She's sweet.
And Carol says, love you, Andy. So, a lot of people that don't know, but I don't know about these things. I know about, like you said, some of the more common ones, but someone has to do this work. And so it's amazing but you're also going in there during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a challenge. That's really amazing. So now, let me see, we have about 4 minutes left.
Oh,
so I know.
2 hours left. I could talk.
I know. This is, but
I love talking to you, Maria.
I love talking to you too, and I really want to thank you because you've been one of these people that's just been in our corner the whole time. And during the pandemic, when those of us that are performers were just in a panic, you were just always reaching out to me and making sure I was okay. It was just I always remember that you're a lovely soul.
You are the lovely soul, and you've always treated me with total respect and graciousness, and I just love you to death.
Well, the feeling is mutual. Now, Andy, what would you like to leave our listeners and our viewers with? You're a person of hope, and what would you, because everybody's tired. Everybody, I know I am. And I hear my friends work. We're just plugging along. We're doing what we're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And even my dentist today, I met this new great dentist who I love. He's right up the street from me. And I said, you know what? I really love everything I do. I said, and that counts for something. And he said, it counts for everything. So, it sounds like you are one of those people that loves what you do. And you continue to do it. So what would you leave people with? Anybody that's out there that's feeling really stressed at the end of their rope, what do you want to tell them?
Okay, well, the thing I've learned, especially from households that have a medically challenged child, adult, teenager, they always have two things: a sense of hope and a sense of community. And they never lose that. And in this day and age where our society has become so divisive, we have to put that aside because there are more intimate issues than the umbrella politics of our world. I think we need to look at the nuance of our lives and our neighbors' lives and respond to that, and not necessarily the hyperbole of what's going on TV and government and politics. Take care of your neighbor. Take care of your own family, but take care of your neighbor. Because, that's what's needed in our society today.
I couldn't agree with you more, Andy. I couldn't agree with you more. And I think that sadly in the last maybe 6 years, maybe a little bit before that, we just started to become so divided. And it is really sad because what you said was a sense of hope and a sense of community.
Yeah.
And we need to get back. I think if we start with community, we will have hope. whatever it is, like you said, maybe it's your neighbors, maybe it's a group that you expand to, maybe it's something in your state, maybe it's old friends you get back together with, whatever it is.
I know. It's a matter of making a connection. And I know we're very short on time, and I'll say this really quickly. I did a job many, many years ago in Senegal, Africa.
Wow. Yeah.
For the Senegalese National Ballet. Okay. So long story short, I'm in the theater. I finally get my cameraman there who do not speak any English. Now, I don't speak Wolof. So Wolof is not part of my language, and I was not very good in French. So I had to communicate with my cameraman before this opera, this dance ballet went on. And all I said to him was, MTV. MTV. Like this. And that cameraman, just from that one word, MTV, he got exactly what I was talking about, and we were compadres for like 3 hours.
Wow.
That's all it takes. It takes just connecting on some kind of level in order to make whatever you're working on, it doesn't matter if it's film or something in life, it only takes a connection to make a success.
Wow, that's beautiful, Andy. Let's leave it right there.
Okay.
This is incredible. We could go on. This is Andy Praskai Part 1, I'm going to call it. Just amazing. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for supporting us. Leo, where have you gone? Come and say goodbye to Andy. I'm so glad you guys connected.
Leo, I'm regretting that my cat didn't jump up on the table like he normally does because his name is Leo when I wanted to.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so cute.
My cat's name is Leo.
Wow.
I wanted to introduce you, but he disappeared on me.
Well, he's a little shy.
We tend to do that. Irish goodbyes.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to share the show everywhere. A lot of our friends will love to see it. And thank you, Andy. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, everybody that's listening out there. Thank you to Jim Bell, our producer and engineer. Thank you to Armed Radio. Thank you to all our listeners and our viewers. We'll be back next week. Next week, I'm going to be in Florida, but I will be broadcasting from there.
Are you going to see myself here?
No, I don't think so. I'm going to see Lisa Sandler, though.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Podcast from her house. So we'll see what happens. But it's going to be a really fun show. Thank you, Andy. I can't wait. Thank you, Leo. And everybody, go back. If you just popped on, go back and watch the show because it's.
Thank you, all my friends for watching. Thanks for everybody who's watching.
Yes. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Cheers and